So you've probably seen the headlines about the No Kings movement. We're talking millions of people out on the streets across America. But this isn't just one big protest. Oh no, it's a huge nationwide phenomenon. And over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down. Just how big it is, what's really driving it, and what it all could mean.
All right, first things first, let's just try to wrap our heads around this scale here. It's so easy to hear the word protest and just picture, a single crowd in one city. But what's happening here is on a completely different level. This is happening literally everywhere.
And when I say everywhere, I really mean it. We're seeing demonstrations in all 50 states.
And these aren't just isolated events. They're all part of this huge network of over 3,000 separate rallies.
Which all adds up to a movement of millions of Americans. I mean, that's just an incredible number to even think about. So let's see what that actually looks like on the ground.
To really get a feel for numbers this big, you have to go to the streets. Let's zoom in to New York City, which has been one of the main hubs, where reporters were just trying to process the sheer size of the crowds.
Just listen to how reporter Donnie O'Sullivan described what he was seeing in Manhattan. He said he wasn't just looking at one crowd, but multiple streams of people with no end in sight on either side. It just paints this incredible picture, right? The city's streets basically turning into these massive rivers of people.
Okay, so you've got millions of people marching. The big question is, why? For what? Well, the signs they carry and the things they're saying on the ground, they tell a pretty clear story about what's fueling all of this.
You see three core ideas popping up again and again. First, there's this deep, deep concern that democracy itself is under threat. Second, a really powerful rejection of anything that looks like tyranny or authoritarianism. And third, a very clear and loud opposition to a potential war with Iran.
Let's take that first point about defending democracy. One protester put it really well, framing it almost like a personal duty. They said, we have to come together to stand up. Basically seeing this as a critical moment where everyday people have to step in and protect the system.
And you can hear that anti-tyranny theme, which is right there in the name, No Kings, in the voice of this younger protester. They define their stance really simply. We are anti-fascist, anti-authoritarian, anti-tyranny. For them, it's just a fundamental line in the sand.
Now, it's really important to know that a turnout this massive didn't just happen out of nowhere. It's actually the peak of a wave that's been building for months. This is the third major demonstration in a whole series.
You can see the momentum so clearly when you look at the timeline. The very first No Kings protest was way back in June. Then a second wave hit in October, and now we're seeing the third and by far the largest demonstration yet. It's just this clear pattern of growth and mobilization. So what's the glue holding this growing movement together? Well, here's what's so fascinating. It isn't just one single thing. In fact, its power seems to come from the exact opposite. It's become this massive coalition of all these different groups and causes, all marching together under that one No Kings banner.
And I mean, just look at the staggering range of issues. You've got people marching for public education and healthcare, standing right alongside groups focused on workers' rights and immigration. You've got activists for queer rights and consumer protections right next to people opposing ICE and the threat of war. It's this huge, diverse umbrella of causes that usually do their own thing, but are now all marching together.
So when you really get down to it, the No Kings protests aren't about one single thing. They're kind of about, well, everything. They've become this convergence point for a dozen different movements. And that leaves us with a really big question. What does it mean for the country when so many people, with so many different reasons to be upset, all decide to start marching in the exact same direction?